Hey YouTube, it's Jay. It is Memorial Day weekend, and today we're going to be talking about the side pockets and leaving shots for the side pockets, as well as using the side pockets for leaves. Before we do, I want to take just a minute. Of course, I'm pretty sure everybody knows I'm a veteran. Been deployed overseas a couple of times. And I want to take just a minute to thank everybody who has given their life in combat for and in training for America. I'm unapologetically American. With that said, I'd like to take just a moment and have a moment of silence for those that have those that wrote a blank check payable for any amount up to and including my life and had the government cash it. Thank you. Okay, so I've redone this video probably 4 or 5 times, pieced things together, and it turned into something that was about 4 hours long. So I'm taking a step back, and we're just going to cover a few concepts very briefly prior to getting into the leaves, and these are all really important concepts. So the first thing, for those that are new to the channel, I want you to understand that our purpose here is to help the B, C, D, and recreational players to move up. Once you're at the A level, the changes in the game really become more about angle management and making the right decisions and things like that. What we're talking about now, some of this may seem basic to some of the people that have been playing for a while. So you may end up with a shot like this where there's just really not a good way to get to it, or there doesn't appear to be. And there are fancy shots like jumping over to get your to make your shot. And yes, those will win you games, but they'll lose you more matches than they'll win. So we're not covering things like that in this channel. Yes, we do cover them sometimes, but they're not a main part of the channel. We're not here about this channel is not about the cool shots. It's actually not even about individual shots. This channel is about winning games, winning matches, how to get better at the game. I also understand that some of you are impatient. We've had a couple of weeks, and I've had several messages about when are you coming out with another video. I can't wait. Well, understand, I've been playing pool since 1976. That was before many of you were born, and it's not going to be fast. This is not something that we're going to cover in 5 videos of 10 minutes and you're going to be a pro. That's not how this works. It's going to be over time. We're covering all the pieces right now, and we will eventually put them all together. Now that said, you should probably practice the pieces because they will make you a better player by themselves. All right. The next thing that I need to cover really quickly is that we all do things differently. What I'm showing you is the way I do it. Other players may do it differently. At the end of the day, you do what works for you. Okay? A great example of this is stroke. Everybody will tell you there's a perfect stroke that everybody should use and everybody should play, but that's not how it is. The fact of the matter is that with your stroke, if you can push the cue straight through the cue ball consistently and make the cue ball go where you aim it, the rest of the stroke is immaterial. If somebody like Keith McGrady or Tommy the Crab Corrales, who shoots like this, if one of them went to Mark Wilson and said, "Help me with my stroke," Mark would say, I'm not touching your stroke, and he should, because their strokes work phenomenal. Keith McCready was one of the best in the world. Tommy Corrales was a pro. There are many pros that play different ways. Some play elbow in, some play elbow out, some play with it way up in the air, some play drop the elbow when they go through. We all do things differently. Do what works for you, and we're going to cover that in another video. That said, the ways that I'm approaching this are the way that I do it. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, then look for something that does, or ask questions about why it doesn't work for you. The next thing I need to talk about really quickly, physical size of the pocket. A lot of people don't realize this, but the corner pockets are, if my corner pockets, mine happen to be 4 1/8 inch wide. Okay, 4 1/8 inch wide, just a little bit less than 2 balls wide. The side pockets are 1/2 inch bigger. It's a pretty big difference. Okay, so the side pockets are bigger than the corner pockets. In the World Pool Masters that was just played, Allison Fisher was talking, it was one of the commenters, and she mentioned that she had measured the pockets prior to the match, and their TV table, the corners were 4 inches, and they were diamond cut, which meant that they're 4 inches at the outside as well as 4 inches where the pocket opens. And the side pockets were 5 inches wide. Okay? That's a full inch of difference. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but it opens the door for cheating the pockets. So, physical pocket size, side pockets are actually physically bigger than the corner pockets. And there's a reason for that, which brings us to our next point, which is effective pocket size. Okay? If you have a ball, and it is straight to the side pocket, the effective size of that pocket is 5 inches, right? As you move towards the end of the table, now the effective size is smaller. Now it might be 4 1/2. At the spot, from the spot, you have the full pocket on the corner. So in this case, you have 4 1/4 inch pockets in the corners. And you also have 4 1/4 inch effective pockets on the sides. The spots the spot represents a point on the table where all 4 of these pockets have the same effective size. Now, the reason that the side pockets are bigger is because the corner pockets, when you're here near the rail, this corner pocket is actually this wide. And that's because at that angle, it can come off the side rail and still hits inside the jaws and falls in. Okay? So the effective pocket size on the corner pockets, starting from here, where it's the full 4 1/4, it gets smaller, 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 wider, 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 until it freezes to the rail. Once it freezes to the rail, the pocket size is incredibly small. It's half of the pocket. Okay? If you're frozen to the rail, you have to either have your speed right for it to fall in, or you have to hit the rail and bounce in. As the object ball is moving around, as the object ball is in a different place on the table, the sizes of these pockets change. That means that if it's here, this pocket's not an option. I'm not going to cut it in the side. It actually can be made in that side, as some people who have scratched that way have found out. Effective size. As I move towards the side of the table, the corner pocket becomes bigger than the side pocket. As I move towards the center of the table, the side pocket becomes bigger than the corner pocket. Okay, so how do I know whether I want to shoot it in the side or the corner? Well, first thing is, leave that you're making absolutely controls which one you do. You want to take the easiest of the leaves to a shot you can make. So if I've got something like this, if I have something like this, give or take, the easiest way for me to shoot the 3 and to leave the 5 is just to stop the cue ball, maybe back it up an inch or so, right? And without moving the cue ball all over the place, the 5 ball becomes a corner pocket shot, okay? Now I've got a straight in shot on the 5 in the corner. So leave definitely, your next position definitely has a place in how you leave your shot. Now, if on the other hand, my shot is like this, something like this, I could play 3 in the corner and come straight across the table for the 5 in this corner, or I could play off the 3 and come this way for the 5. I personally, because of leave zones, would play this one across and ready and down here for this corner. That said, if it was the other side like this, okay, if I have something like this, I'm going to play the 3 in the corner and I'm going to play the 5 in this side. Why am I going to do that? Well, the first reason is right here, I've got the full side pocket for that 5 ball, and the second reason is that my natural leave coming off of the 3 is going to put me into a position for the 5. I don't have to force it. Could I slow roll and try to hold it for the 5? Sure. Could I go harder and go 2 and back over for the 5? Sure. But why? I can just naturally come this way. And this shot is kind of a gimme. Okay, so the choice of where you put it is driven by the leave. It's also driven by obstacle balls. If I've got this shot, but there's a ball in between them, like this, I may not want to try that 5 on the side. Okay, so blocking balls make a difference. If I've got that 3 here, and that 9 is here, I'm much better playing for the corner because I have to be either on this side or this side of the 5 to make it with 9 there. I can't just play this way and try to control it so my speed is either here or all the way down here. That's just too much gap. Now I've got to pick one. I'm just going to roll the 3 in and shoot the 5 up in the corner, even though this looks like a better pocket. We'll talk about that during risk management a lot more because that's a big component of risk management. There's a route we have to talk about. From the center diamond through the first diamond here goes 1, 2, 3 rails into that side if you don't use any English. So center diamond, center spot, through the first diamond with no English goes to that side pocket on that side. Okay, center spot, first diamond, no English, medium stroke, goes in that side pocket. We're going to talk about that. I'm showing you that for a reason. We're not going to go in depth about that route. What I want to talk about is how you get on these side pocket shots. So if you're going to contact this side rail on the same side that you're trying to leave first, then you want to come out 2 rails. Okay, you always want to come off the rail opposite your shot first, or last. So I want to go across, 1, 2, and now I'm straight in. I'm where I want to be. And where you want to be on these is you want to be in the stun zone, okay? So you remember on my diagram we have the stop in the middle, then we have the green stun zones, and then we have the orange rolling zones. On almost all of these side pocket shots, when you leave them, you're going to want to be in the green zones, okay? Little bit of angle, but let me put that about where that 6 was. Okay. Little bit of angle, but in the green zones on it. So you're going to want to be fairly straight in, and I'm going to show you why in just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to hit this rail first. Okay, last time I was going to hit this rail first, so 1, 2, and out into that stun zone because we come straight up the zone, right? Okay, now if I've got this, I want to use stun back and left. Let me move that where I can actually reach it. So if it's going to hit this rail first, you want stun back and left. And the closer it is to this rail, the closer the object ball is to this rail, the more left you want to put on it. Because what we want to do is we want to take advantage of that 3 rail lead that I just showed you. We're going to take advantage of that. We're going to come off this rail, off the ball, tangent lines this way. I'm going to be stunning back, so I'm going to widen it out a little bit, and I'm going to spin it and out. And that brings me again going straight up that stun zone that I want to be in. See that? Again, perfect leave. Didn't have to do anything really weird, didn't have to do anything hard. I'm not putting a massive amount of spin on it. You're just hitting it a little bit. Okay, so if you're on the opposite side, okay, so now I'm shooting into this corner and going for the side pocket opposite. This is either 1 or 3 rails. You want it to bounce off this rail last. Now, I prefer to shoot this 1 rail and just use a touch shot. You'll rarely see me do this 3 rails. I'm just going to kick it in and come straight out for it, okay? If I'm going to hit this rail first, I'm again going to use that stun back running English. So stun back and to the right. I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to come up the zone this time. Okay, so last time we went 1, 2, and down, up the zone. This time we're going to go 1, 2, and down the zone. So we're going the opposite way, but it's still the same exact shot. Okay, same exact shot. And if I overhit it all the way out to here, I've still got that shot. If I underhit this one, I'm in trouble. So you always want to hit that one a little bit firmer. You'd rather be over than under. All right, so that's how you get to those. Now you'll notice that the object ball was on the same side as my shot on those. Now let's talk about the object ball on the opposite side of the shot. If I'm going to hit this side rail first with the object ball on the opposite side, all I'm going to do is spin left and go down, go off the rail and straight up the line. Okay? I'm in line that whole way. I'm in line forever. If we're shooting and we're going to hit this end rail first and the object ball is on the same half but across the midline, we're going to just use top English and roll it. That'll bring it out at an angle about like this, and you'll be in line pretty much the whole way. It is a little speed sensitive, but it's the way to shoot this one. Okay, just come up the table and get your lathe. Don't overhit it. You see that was tracking towards the corner pocket. Now, on the other side, if I'm going to hit this rail first, I'm going to draw this with outside English so that the cue ball comes straight flat up the rail. And the reason I'm going to do that is, first of all, as I'm coming up, I'm in the leave zone, in the leave zone, in the leave zone, kind of far, but still in the leave zone. Then it hits the rail and it tracks directly up towards the side pocket. Again, this is stun back, running English. Okay, if I overhit it, I'm tracking right along the line to shoot it up in the corner. And by the way, if you actually draw that ball, it's a pretty cool effect, because if you draw this ball, you come flat into this, come out. The danger is you can draw into that point. It doesn't seem like you could from here, but you actually can. So you can use draw right on this and come flatter, come straight up for the side. But when you do, just know that you run a risk of hitting that point. Okay, finally, if you're shooting that ball, and you're going to hit this rail first, and the object ball is on this side, again, we're going to use, in this case, we're going to use draw left. We want to flatten this out enough to hit this rail. We do not want to draw it into this pocket, so be careful of that. So we're going to stun back and left, but it's going to be somewhere between a stun and a draw. A true draw goes into this pocket. Okay, don't do that. But a little bit lower than a stun and extreme left. And what happens is the ball hits here, it comes here, it spins out. Because you're coming into this at more of an angle than you do. So here's the angle. You come into this rail on the 3-rail shot. Well, now you're coming into it at a much sharper angle like this. It's going to hit higher up on the rail. It's going to go down towards somewhere between the first and the second diamond. So a little bit lower than stun, left-hand English. Will send you right down into the line of your shot in the side. Okay? And yes, if you're going to hit it fairly thin, again, you can use top inside English and go straight up this rail just like you did with bottom on the other side. So you can do something like this where you just go straight up. But you can see what that's doing is it's tending directly towards that corner pocket. We don't want to do that if we don't have to. If you have traffic in here, you need a way to get to it, you can always come this way. I like coming around for it more often than I do trying to play the straight shot. The straight shot is speed sensitive. And you'll find a lot of times you'll have traffic that you have to get around, so you need to know both ways, okay? Remember this is actually kind of a key concept. On every shot, there are 2 ways to go. You can go forward or you can go back, okay? You can follow or you can draw on every shot. Well, just about every shot, unless it's straight in or the object's on the rail. So, if my next shot is on the rail there, I can go forward for my leave, right? That would be the preferred route on this one. However, If there's traffic in here and it's not safe to come straight across like I just did, I can always draw it. If this is blocked, I can still go just like I was doing with the side pocket. Bottom run, and just go around that way. That's the draw way to get to that same shot if you've got traffic in the way. We'll cover stuff like that in risk management, but just know there's always two ways to go. You can always go forward and you can always go back. Now we know how to get leaves on the side pockets. The next question is, how do I know whether I should shoot in the side pocket or not? Well, there's a really easy way to tell whether a ball is a candidate for a side pocket or not. So, if you remember, I said that a ball on the spot, all of these pockets are equivalent, okay? So if the ball was sitting exactly on the center spot, I can choose whatever I want. I can go whichever direction I want, I don't care. As my object ball, let me put an object ball out here. So, as my object ball that I want to leave moves towards the side rail, the corner pocket becomes an easier shot, right? That's fairly close to the side, and as a general rule, we want to shoot the closest pocket. But in this case, we want to shoot it in this corner because this effective pocket size is not big enough to make the ball. Okay? So as we come over, we want, the further over it is, the more likely the corner is, right? And we said that from the spot, as we move towards the center of the table, we get a better angle on the side than we do on the corner. Okay, so here's how I do this. Here's how I decide on whether I'm going to try to shoot it in the side or to shoot it in the corner. From the center spot to the point of the pocket, if the edge of the ball is inside of that, I would prefer to shoot it in the side pocket, depending, again, like I said, on the leave. The leave is going to drive that. So if it's inside that, fine, I want to shoot it in that pocket. Now, there is another case for the side pocket. We said that if it's over here, we probably don't want to shoot it in this side, right? However, if I can stop the ball, stop or a very small stud, if I can stop this ball and have a shot on the side pocket, I want to do that most of the time. Okay, the reason we don't like short side leaves is because this is the entire leave zone. But if I can guarantee to be in that leave zone by stopping the cue ball, that's okay. But other than that case, I do not want to be in a position where I'm trying to leave it behind this ball. It's too speed sensitive and it's too, if I'm trying to leave it here and I draw it half an inch, that has just become a difficult shot and I can't hold it for whatever I was trying to stay on this side for. So, as a general rule, we don't want to shoot short side shape on the sides. However, if we can stop the cue ball there, it's perfectly fine. Again, from here, I have the entire side pocket and I have a reduced corner pocket. So it's not bad to shoot that. Just know that it's hard to get the leave if you're doing anything other than stopping the cue ball there or stunning into position there. If we say that our rule of thumb, our 99% of the time rule is if the ball is inside that line, we want to shoot it to that side, okay? Well, That also means that it's inside this line for this side. That also means it's inside this line for that side, and finally inside this one for this side. That makes a nice diamond on the table. If it's inside that diamond, you should be looking at the side pockets first. And by the way, it could be either side. Again, if it's way over here, we really want to shoot for this side because we don't want that short side shape. However, in most cases out here in the center, it could go to either side and it's just fine. Whichever one is easiest to leave and has less obstacles to get there. I want to talk about one other side effect of the side pockets. And this is why I like them so much. So here we have a dead straight in shot to the center of the pocket. Okay? That is a dead straight in shot. Because the side pockets are so wide, that means I have 3 different places, and some people even break this down even farther into 5 places. But I have 3 different places that I can shoot that ball. I have the right side, which will be the 7 ball. I have the left side, which will be the 4 ball. Or I can shoot straight in, which is the 6. So depending on my leave, I can go anywhere on the table. And that's because this pocket is so big, it allows me to cheat it in any direction. So my next shot is at 8 ball. I may just stop it right there, right? Now I've got a straight in shot on the 8. Set this back up again. I'm straight in again, straight through the center of the pocket to the center of the other pocket. Okay, but I need to get down here. Well, I can shoot it to this edge of the side pocket and go that way. Right? What if the 8's on the other end? What if the 8's on this end? Well, again, I can cheat this. Straight. There we go. Again, I can cheat this to the side and go that way. So you see, the side pocket gives us some versatility, okay, in getting to either end of the table. So if I've got traffic and I don't want to be really tied into a specific way to do it, well, I can always do that. Okay, for you 8-ball players out there, these are the balls that I've got left, and I'm straight in on the 10. Okay, when you're playing 8-ball or straight pool, you want to clear an area. Okay, you want to clear the table in areas, and you want the final area to be something that you can, you want the final area to be where the final ball is. Okay, so if we're playing 8-ball, and I need to get out from here, I don't have to run 5 balls plus the 8 ball. What I have to do is I have to run 2 balls, the 10 and the 11, and then use the 9 ball. And by the way, you'll notice I'm not going to go straight up the table on this. I'm going to go forward and use the rail to get out. And use the 9 ball to transition from this half of the table I just finished to this half I now have to clear. You see how I'm using that as a middle way to get there? I'm not shooting the 10 and the 11 and then shooting the 14 the long way down the table. I shot the 10, I took the easy shot on the 11, now I'm going to use the 9. And by the way, you should always have the concept of key ball, whether you're talking about straight pool or 8-ball. the 14 would be my key ball here, because if I make the 14 and stop, I will have a shot on the 8, an easy shot on the 8. So I want the 14 to be the key ball, which is the shot before the final shot. Okay? So if I want the 14 to be my final shot, I'm going to shoot the 9, I'm going to roll forward and out for the 13, I'm going to shoot the 13 and drift over for the 14, shoot the 14 in, and leave myself the 8 in the corner. Okay? And again, this is possible to do it this easily because of that, not because I have that side pocket for the 9. Oh, I suck, I got exactly straight in. I got straight in. Okay, so anyhow, yeah, so I just happened to get exactly straight. If I had gotten on this side, I could have rolled forward and up for the 14. If I got it on this side, I could have just stunned over for the 14. But no, I had to get exactly straight in. So now I'm shooting the 14 in that corner and rolling this way for the 8, or going back and forth for that way for the 8. Either way, you get my point, okay? Talking about straight pull, I might have something like this, okay? Now the 14 is in the classic side break position. That's exactly where you want your object ball to break. For your break shot, you want to leave the cue ball on a line where you're going to run into the rack, naturally. So in this case, the pattern to the out is to shoot the 1 in, stop the cue, roll off the 2, off the rail and out for the 11, shoot the 11 in the side and stop, leaving you with an easy shot on the 14 and the automatic break. So that's how you would play this out. The 11 ball is your key ball again. Okay, 11 ball is the key ball before the final ball. So, again, we're just going to roll out nice and easily. We're going to get as straight in or into the stun zone as we can. We're going to stop. I actually rushed that shot, so it rolled off on me, but that's okay. I'm still in a good break position. I make the 14, the cue ball automatically runs into the rack. So you see the side pockets are extremely important. They work really good for transitioning down the table. They work really good for having options when you get there. Being able to go to either end of the table from a straight in shot because it's so big you can cheat the pocket. Side pockets are invaluable. There are some people who say don't use them. I will tell you not using the side pockets is a huge mistake. Now, I will say also that it does depend on the table. Many of the tournaments that they play, they narrow those side pockets down so that they're the same size as the corner pockets. If the side pockets are the same size as the corners, you want to shoot the corner, because the angles on the corner help the ball into the pocket. The angles on the rails on the side reject the ball. So if the side pocket and the corner pockets are the same size, and it's really easy to measure this, all you do is take 2 balls, stick them in the pocket and see how they fit, just like we did a minute ago, and then take those same 2 balls and go here and see if there's a gap. All right? So if the side pockets are the same size as the corner pockets for some reason, there are some trick tables out there like that, then we want to avoid the side pockets unless we're straight in the center of the table. That changes our diamond that we leave in. Okay, so with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.